What's the long goal?
Long goal, obviously, get to the NFL. Anything that helps out somebody else that I can do is good for me and them. So yeah, I take pride in that. And my parents are like very generous with like anything that they do. So I
Mhm.
think I developed that from them. I have a Mexican flag, American flag, and a Salvadorian flag.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the All Dream Sports Podcast. I am your host, Haas, and today we have a very, very special guest. His name is Jason O'Neal, and he's a quarterback. So, quick story, real fast. I always see these videos, right, of these young quarterbacks that are now in the NFL, like what's his name, Lamar Jackson, and they were young, but they were at these camps and they were doing other things that other quarterbacks weren't doing. And Jason O'Neal Jr. is doing the exact same thing those guys did. He's doing now. So I want to know how it is. What does it take to be a quarterback? Because it's not just throwing the ball, okay? It's other things. And he has a great story. So I'm gonna bring him up right now, and we're gonna talk to Jason O'Neal Jr. What's up, man?
What's up? How are you?
Man, I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for asking. Are you good?
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So this segment right here is called the We All Have Dreams segment, okay? Where I talk to you, the athlete, about your dreams and what inspires you and the things you are doing. Because look, we found you on Instagram and I see all the stuff that you're doing, right?
Yes, sir.
So the first thing I want you to do is introduce yourself to the world and tell everybody who you are.
My name is Jason. I've been playing football for about 3 years, and I'm a quarterback.
You're a quarterback, okay?
Yes, sir.
Only 3 years.
Only 3 years.
And how old
Cause
are you?
I'm 13.
You're 13. Okay. So go
So,
ahead. Finish what you were gonna say.
I started playing in second grade,
Hmm.
and then I took a break and
Okay.
came back in fifth grade, and then
Okay.
I played sixth grade. So actually, it's 4 years
Okay. 4 years.
because
Four
season
years.
just ended. Yeah,
Okay. So
four.
you did start young,
Yes, sir.
then you took a break,
Yes, sir.
and now okay. I have a first question: is when you were young, were you a quarterback?
Yes, but it was like smash mouth football. So I wanted to be a quarterback, but I didn't really get to actually play quarterback.
Okay. So all right. So it's mostly running when you were young.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now what's happening? Are you passing the ball?
Yes, sir. I'm passing the ball a lot more now.
Okay. And so in your age, is it Pop Warner? Is it grade school? Tell me about the teams that you play on right now.
We play in the GMSAA, which is grade basically,
Hmm.
and we play schools like North Cobb, McEachern, like stuff like that, Dalton, and
Okay.
yeah, a lot of teams like that.
Okay. Cool. So look, this is what I want to know, man. I've been seeing you do a lot of work, you
Yes,
know, practice and things like that. You're getting good. But I want to know what's your ultimate goal? What dream, because you're doing a lot of training, what dream are you trying to accomplish?
go to college without actually paying for it. That's
Okay.
that's my main goal.
Okay. And then what's the long goal?
Long goal, obviously, get to the NFL, but you know, we'll see how that goes.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Where are you originally from?
California,
California.
yeah, Los Angeles. I was
Okay.
born in Pasadena, though.
You was born in Pasadena.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's close to the Rose Bowl and everything.
Hmm. Yeah.
Have you been?
No, I haven't been. I moved here when I was about like 7 or 8,
Okay.
and then
And
stayed here.
where are you at now?
I'm in Marietta, Georgia.
Marietta, Georgia. So that's
Yes, sir.
a suburb of Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how do you like it?
Uh, it's a lot different from California, but I like it around here.
Okay. Okay. So one thing I seen on your Instagram page that's very, very important to you, and I want to talk to you about is your faith, right? Tell me about your faith, okay? Because that's very, very important. Tell me about it.
Obviously having Jesus with you is like good on and off the field. And we've been going to church a lot more and like staying connected with the Lord. And so we even have like this Bible app that gives us a devotional every day that we can work on to being better humans. So
Nice. Nice. And so as as well as football, you being a good human, is that important to you?
yes, sir. You know, anything that helps out somebody else that I can do is good for me and them. So yeah, I take pride in that.
I like that. I like that. And what? How did you get those type of values? Because every kid is not saying that. Every kid's, hey, pass me the football. Let me
Yeah.
get on the football field. So, where did you get those values from?
Um, I feel like over time, seeing other people do it kind
Hmm.
of like builds something in your mind over time. And my parents are like very generous with like anything that they do. So I
Hmm.
think I developed that from them.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where I think I got my values from.
Nice. Nice. All right. On your Instagram page, right? You have
Is
like
there
you have three flags, right? Tell me the significance of the three flags and why you have three flags
what three flag? Wait, what are you talking about?
on
I don't.
Instagram. It's like an American flag. It might be a Mexican flag, and it might be like a
Oh, wait, what are the flags that I have? South American, Mexican. Oh, yeah, those are my ethnicities.
what do you say? Yo, what are you talking about? I love it. I love it.
My bad.
What are you talking about, bro? Tell me. Tell me.
So I have a Mexican flag, American flag, and a Salvadorian flag.
Okay.
We're in America right now, so that's why I have that flag.
Hmm.
And my mom, she's Mexican and Salvadorian, so
Okay.
I'm 25% of each.
Okay.
So yeah, that's.
Okay. Habla español?
Oh no, I don't speak Spanish. No, I don't speak Spanish.
Okay. 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 I thought you was gonna say, yo, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, my mom does that.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So why a quarterback? What why that position?
Uh, watching football, even like in first grade, I've seen quarterback as like the leader of the team,
Hmm.
and I really pride in being the leader and leading other people to greatness. So I feel like that's why I chose the quarterback position.
Okay, yeah, I seen that. I seen that, and I have some questions about your leadership journey because I seen one post and it starts. I think you were just starting to be a leader, and
Yes,
how
sir.
how have you progressed in that journey in being the leader of the team?
I started out being like very shy, like a very timid, shy dude, but I've over time learned how to like become better around people and like get out of my shadow around different people. So I feel like that helps with the leadership.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And right now, as far as quarterbacks in the NFL, who are you inspired by? Just give me your top three quarterbacks right now.
Patrick Mahomes because he does a lot of stuff that nobody else could do.
Hmm.
Uh, and Lamar Jackson because he started out, not so well as a passer, but
Hmm.
over time developed that skill.
Hmm.
And probably Jaden Daniels because he's a rookie and took a nobody Commanders team and made them all the way to a good postseason team. So
Yeah,
I feel like those are my top three.
yeah, yeah. Those are three good ones. Those are three good
Yeah.
ones. And are you taking different things from each of them and implementing them into your game as a quarterback?
Yes, sir. Um, I've been seeing like Lamar's quick release and the fact that Mahomes can sidearm and how James Daniels can improvise and run all over the field. So I feel like I've been taking, little things from even like not even those top three, like just everybody, like Aaron Rodgers,
Hmm.
like just stuff like that, and implementing all of those into my game so I can
Okay,
get better.
okay. And and can you describe your game as a quarterback? Right. When I say that,
Uh,
what type of quarterback is Jason O'Neal Jr.?
thrower first, I feel like, and I could be an improviser when stuff breaks down. I feel like that's how I am as a quarterback.
Okay, okay. Do you have a dart? Like,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay. I love it. And so look, I seen one photo you were at the big stadium at Georgia Tech. You
Mhm.
did you have a game there?
In fifth grade, I did, but uh, I think last off season I had a Georgia Tech camp over there, and
Okay.
it helped me a lot. I've seen like the head coach, like Brent Key and all those
Hmm.
people, and they had like really great drills for me to improve as a quarterback.
Okay. And how was it? How was it playing on on that field? Did it give you a did like was it going through your body like, man, it would be great to play in these these big arenas like this?
Yeah, yes, sir. I honestly thought it was gonna be a lot bigger because like on
Oh,
TV it looks huge.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I thought it was gonna be a lot bigger than that. And then when
yeah.
I walked in, I was like, wait, this isn't as big as I thought it was. But yeah, it was a really great experience.
Nice, nice, nice. So right now, you know, are you envisioning playing in these different, these different arenas uh around the country?
Yes, sir. Uh, I haven't been to like the ones outside, but I've been to a lot of the camps that are like in the state of Georgia, and I
Mhm,
feel like in high school I wouldn't really want to go away from home.
mhm.
So me seeing all these camps and like really getting a visual understanding of it is like really good
Yeah,
for me and my family and I.
absolutely. Absolutely. And your dad is right there with you the whole time.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
okay, so I have questions, right? Because I've seen these videos popping up on the internet of like young uh Lamar Jackson, some of these quarterbacks when they were young, they go to these camps. So it's just not a quarterback is just like really, really good, and then all of a sudden he just pops on the radar. You guys are doing these camps and you're doing these things. Tell me the path it is to become an elite quarterback. What do you do? What's that route?
I feel like working when nobody else is watching you is a big factor in you being an elite quarterback and having that mental mindset of you striving forward even if your body doesn't want you to.
Hmm. Hmm.
So having a good mental mindset is a great way to be an elite quarterback.
Nice, nice. And how do you explain that? Expound on that. Having that mentality. Uh, where do those skills come from? They have to come from somewhere.
Yeah, my dad was like a great like example of that,
Hmm.
but you really just want to like go get it, you know?
Yeah.
Like seeing the food on the plate and you just want to eat it all, you know? So it's really you wanting to like go get it and work for really what you want.
Yeah. 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 All right. So, look, our quarterback's tough. Because you can't really even hit quarterbacks anymore. Are you like one of those tough quarterbacks?
Um, if somebody's talking smack during the game, I'll try to like show them what's up. But uh, I feel like quarterbacks still, even in this modern day and age where you can't really touch them, is really hard. Because not even like the physical aspect of it, but the mental aspect of it.
Hmm.
You having to know where your receivers are, how deep they're running the route, and then you have to look at the defensive side of the ball, where the safeties are, what coverage they're in, their leverage. And so I feel like all that combined makes the quarterback position really tough. And that's why I think it's the hardest position to do in the league,
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
the
I
sport.
agree with you. I agree with you 100%. All right, so break that down, right? For us in the back of the class. All right. Um, that all of the things that goes into being a good quarterback, like you said, knowing exactly where your receivers are, knowing exactly how to read defenses, things like that. Tell me a little bit about that process.
Um, so yeah, like for example, if we're reading the defense, the first thing we want to look at is the safeties. If it's one high safety, which is one deep in the middle, is
Hmm.
usually cover one or cover three. But if it's two, then it's cover two, four, or six.
Okay.
And next, you want to look at the corners, see how they're lined up.
Hmm.
If they're lined up five and in with wide base feet, it's usually going to be a cover two because in a cover two you have the flats, so your feet are going to be wider because you're just going to sit in that spot.
Right.
But if they're like five to seven with skinny feet, it's probably going to be cover four or cover three because those skinny feet means that they're probably going to bail. And like seeing if they're in a 4-3, 5-2, like just stuff like that to help you really understand the defense and to understand what routes you have to
Hmm.
attack those defenses.
Man, yo, that's very high level stuff right there. How old are you
Yes,
again?
sir. 13.
13. Okay. All right. And I've been watching football for a very long time. I actually played a little bit of quarterback when I was a freshman. It didn't work out for me. It didn't work out for me because everything you just said, I don't know anything about.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, the
it's
mental
very,
part is like really tough. Like
yeah.
I didn't think I could get this far just because of the mental aspect of this game, but
uh,
I persevered through it.
man, I mean, it's very, very high level stuff. And so when you go to these camps, are you these are the things that you're learning?
Yes, sir. We went to this QBIQ camp not too long ago,
Hmm.
and that was like really the first camp that taught me everything that I needed to know coverage wise. And
Okay.
that's like a really good camp for QBs, and they also had receivers,
Okay.
and so they had like NFL wide receivers come out and like show them like the wide receiver aspect that we're getting taught as a quarterback. They
Hmm.
get taught from the wide receiver position. So it was like really good for me and all the other people that went to that camp, and it really helped me understand the coverages and just the defense in general.
Nice, nice. Did you get a chance to throw to some of those to some of the NFL receivers?
No, but we had people in our age brackets that would come catch for us.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah.
So I seen these things called the training tapes on your Instagram. So it's like it was more than one, right? Where they're called the training tapes. What are do you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, was it with my QB coach where we would throw?
I think so. I think you have several of them on your page, and they're like you're called your training tapes.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I know what you're talking about with Coach
yeah,
Charlie and all that.
yes.
I have a QB coach, and his name is Coach Charlie,
Hmm.
and we work at Velocity Football, and he's really helped me with like my physical, like
Hmm.
like the physical aspect of the game, and really the stuff that we work on is when the pocket breaks down,
Hmm.
because in this day and age, like your linemen are really taught to you know actually protect the quarterback,
Hmm.
so we work on stuff that helps me when the pocket collapses and breaks down. Like, for example, when uh, the defense is flushing me to the right, and so I have to roll out and throw on the run, and then there's a dig that's coming backside with you, and
Okay.
so I need to on the run throw the ball to that 10-yard dig that's coming backside. So like just
Okay.
stuff like that that he helps me, and
Hmm.
even like with stationary things like when the pocket doesn't collapse, just make the good throw. And he really helps me with the mental part of it too, because at the end of our session, he comes breaks down film that's happening either with the NFL, college, or even my games.
Nice, nice. So film is a huge part of being a quarterback, right?
Yes, sir, you have to love that.
So when you're saying okay, say you're going right and the pocket is breaking down, and you're learning these skills, is it like secondhand nature for you to make the correct play as you continue to work?
Um, you know, throwing on the run and stuff, I wasn't good at first, but I feel like just reps over and over and over again, and even mental reps. Like
Mhm.
if you're in a group session and you're seeing someone else do it and you're not in, just getting those mental reps are
Yeah,
really good for you know you completing those type of throws in the future when it's actually your turn to go up.
absolutely. And have you started to see all of the things that you've been working on? When are you seeing yourself being able to implement those things into the game?
Yes, sir. I had. a bunch of scenarios where that actually helped me in the
Mhm.
game. And one play from South Cobb, I remember we were it was like fourth and three, fourth and four, and I was rolling out to the left because the pocket collapsed, and I like threw it kind of cross body
Mhm.
to my running back, and he scored on that. So
Nice.
just those type of things that we work on behind the scenes, and it actually ends up helping you in the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, for sure. So now is the game starting to like slow down for you? Because like the better you get, the more reps you are getting. Is are you looking at things and things are slowing down? You're able to see it and then react because you just have the reps.
Yes, sir. Um, I had it wasn't always like that
Hmm.
where the game slowed down a bunch.
Hmm.
Like I remember me dropping back and me just seeing a bunch of bodies like right in front of me, and so I just took off running. But
Yeah.
yeah, over time, just having those reps installed into you,
Hmm.
uh, it helps you over time.
Hmm.
Having the game slow down for you and you actually making a good read.
Absolutely. And so, okay, so you talk about it wasn't always like that,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Tell me about your challenges. Like what challenges, have you had and what what challenges do you have now?
Um, I don't think tackle football was really hard for me back then because we didn't throw a lot, so it was just you just running.
Right.
But I feel like 7-on-7 was really my first problem.
Hmm.
It was the first time I've seen, no line, no pressure, but your mind actually making these reads
Mm,
against coverages. And
hmm.
so
Hmm.
me not having any reps in that field in that category, you know, I, I would mess up a lot. And
Hmm.
so I remember me sitting down on my table, uh, figuring out, trying to decipher if I should really stay in the sport or, keep going. But
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, I made the decision to actually like keep going, uh keep trying to persevere through this. And
Mhm.
over time I've been getting a lot better with
Mhm.
that, and so now the game has slowed down a lot for me.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. So you really had a moment of self awareness that you
Yes, sir.
came about and say, do I really want to do this? And if I do want to do this, I have to put in the work and I have to get better.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
because what is it? You like, all right, well, I'm just not going to be, I'm just not going to be a
Yeah.
half quarterback. I want to be great.
Yes, sir.
So that that's very interesting, and that's very great of you to do that. Talk about your workout schedule. How many days do you work out? What do you do? How are you getting so good?
During the season, we'll usually have 4 days of practice, and then so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is usually a walkthrough for me. So I do a lot of film that day.
Hmm.
I really just I study what they're doing and how they're doing it, and even like when they're on offense, so I could tell my defense like what they're doing. So I really just try to figure out the whole game
Hmm.
and how it's being played on my opponent, and that helps me a lot because I mean you can only do so much on the physical aspect of it that you need to have mental reps of what you're actually seeing so that when it pops up on you you actually know what to do.
Yeah, yeah, that's big. That's big. And as far as like, are you doing any weight training? Are you lifting
Yes
weight?
sir. Yes sir.
Yeah.
uh yes sir. I don't uh do a lot by myself. It's usually me and my dad,
Hmm.
or me with my trainer LJ.
Hmm.
And yeah, he helps me a lot with like just like the tiny things that uh like can help me throw the ball farther, or have my core stay in line with my target so I can throw a better ball, and
Hmm.
like just stuff like that. And like I feel like he helps me a lot with like the physical aspect of football.
Nice, nice. That's what's up. Okay, what makes you different from other quarterbacks?
Um, I feel like I'm different from other quarterbacks because
Hi, thank you for joining the All Dream Sports podcast, which is sponsored by All Dream Sports mobile app. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's for athletes to capture their complete sports journey in one dedicated place. Capture it, store it, build a community, and earn money with All Dream Sports. So if you have hundreds of videos on your camera roll that no one's ever going to see of your child's sports journey, you can organize it with the All Dream Sports mobile app. But that's not it. You can also have your child athlete build a community of people that's going to subscribe to their Dreamers Vault. And anytime someone subscribes to your child's Dreamers Vault to watch their complete sports journey, your child earns money. So you can use it for fundraising as well.
I'm different from other quarterbacks because I know what to do when something goes wrong. And I feel like most quarterbacks in this day and age, especially in my age group, when something breaks down, they all just collapse. And so I feel like what sets me aside from everybody else is the fact that I could still make something happen when something breaks down.
Yeah, very good answer. You're sharp. You're
Yes, sir.
sharp. Okay, so all right. So let's talk about the future. Let's talk about the future real fast. Um, what schools? Let's give me your top three schools you would want to go to. Any schools in the country, your top three, if they're coming for Jason O'Neal Jr.
Um, I think the top three schools that I would like to go to is number one, Georgia, number two, Georgia Tech, and number three, Florida.
Nice. Okay, so you want to stay in that southeastern region.
Yeah, yeah, because they're all good schools, and I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like the coaching aspect of it is really good, really well,
Mhm.
and I just feel like you need like another player to help
Yeah.
like actually make that happen. And so
Yeah.
I feel like those top three schools are actually good schools for me to go to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So obviously you are getting very, very good as a quarterback, okay? But you can't do any of that stuff without doing good in school, okay?
Yes, sir.
So tell me about your academics. Tell me about your passion for, you know, your classes and being a good student as well as being a great athlete.
Yeah, both of those things go hand in hand with each other. You can't be good in
Mhm.
one part and then be bad in the other. And I I finally like witnessed that because not gonna lie, I wasn't doing good in the second quarter,
Mhm.
and so this is the quarter where like I had to actually be good at both and not lack one thing and be really good at the other. And so you need to balance those two in order for you to be great because like the colleges ain't gonna look at you because you're good at football
Right.
and they're gonna look at your grades as well.
Absolutely. 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 Uh, so I seen a post, right, in
Sure.
2019, right? It says it was you were learning to lead. Tell me about that time that you were starting to learn to lead. Tell me about that time. It's 2000, so that's 2019. It's 2025 now, right? So you were gearing up to be a leader for a long time.
Sir. Um, that was the first glimpse that I've really seen of leadership.
Hmm.
And back then I used to really just stay in my own lane, just stay in the corner
Hmm.
and be a follower with everybody else. But I felt like that post was like the first time that I actually seen a glimpse of leadership and felt like that's my role. Like whenever I join the team.
Right, right. And you have this nickname. What do they call you?
Um,
Is it like Ace or something like that?
yeah, yeah, my dad calls me that
Okay,
basically. But yeah,
okay.
the ace is the best in the deck, so You
Absolutely.
know, you can't go wrong with that.
Can't
You know,
go. It doesn't matter what game.
yeah,
Is
ace solos.
ace is the card that you need to have, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so is Jason Ace O'Neal Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get ready to close out. Um, Anything that you want to tell the world about you that I did not ask you?
Not really. I feel like you summed most of it up. Did a good job on that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
You're welcome.
it. In the beginning of the interview, when I asked you about the flags, you was like, "Yo, what, bro? What are
Yeah.
you talking about?"
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. Um, okay, I this is important. This is important. You're 13.
Yes,
It's
sir.
it's a younger kid that's going to be looking up to you. What do you tell that younger kid to give that younger kid some value?
Um, when stuff breaks down, don't quit, don't give up. I feel like I like during this whole thing, I had a lot of scenarios where I could have gave up and have this football thing and like it's a dust and everything like that.
Hmm.
But I feel like when you lock in
Hmm.
and not quit on what like just anything that you're doing,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's football. Um, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
I love it. I love it. And I agree with you. I agree with you. You know, one of the we're closing out. I have no more questions, but one of the things that you said that was very, very striking to me is when you said that you sat down at the table and you said,
Yeah,
like because even adults don't have a self-aware moment. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
people just, just in general, us as people, it's hard for us to be self-aware with ourselves and look at ourselves. And that shows a lot of maturity. And when you talk about leadership and things like that, that's why you are going to be
yes,
not
sir.
only a great athlete, but great with your faith, but also great in the classroom and a great person. It all goes together.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You're welcome. So this is what we're gonna do. I got to talk to your pops, man. I
All
got,
right.
I got to talk to senior. So I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to Jason O'Neal Senior, right? And
Mhm.
I want to know his journey and how he raise a young athlete because you're sharp. And then we have a segment where you guys go hand in hand. You guys go against each other, and
All right.
you think you're gonna win. I see
Yeah,
it.
I think I'm gonna win. I think I'm gonna win.
All right, so I'm gonna drop you down. Tell senior to come on, and man, it was really really nice meeting you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the last segment, bro.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, peace. I'm sorry, quick intermission again, because I want to tell you about one of the services we provide at All Dream Sports. So I see all of these great athletes on Instagram. The highlights, the things that they're doing is so great. But I don't know who they are. There's just so many. And I want to know who they are. I want to know their story. All athletes right now are just getting very, very good. And it's very, very competitive. And we believe at All Dreams that the story of an athlete is going to be just as important as the performance on the field or on the court. And we want to give your child their first documentary covering their story, sort of like we did with Angie right here. I want the world to meet Angie. She is a 14-year-old girl from Cartagena, Colombia, and her dream is to become an Olympian. We met Angie in February of 2023 while she was training in the Crespo area of Cartagena. Angie is trained by her father, Jorge. He has been training Angie since she was around 7 years old. Together, they work hard every day to achieve the dream of Angie becoming an Olympian. If you're interested, please set up a one-on-one with someone from All Dream Sports, and we would love to do a documentary about your child's sports journey and the things that they're doing. A day in the life. Back to the episode. Wow, man. Listen, the way the way Junior was breaking down the defenses and the 4-3, the 5-2, the inside, whatever. Um, he is doing this at a high level at 13. So, with that said, if you are not doing what he's doing, um, it's going to be hard to catch him. It's going to be hard to catch him. He's talented. He's watching film, and me personally, I just cannot wait to continue to watch his growth. Uh, However, it's something behind all of these kids, and this is the meet the parents segment, right? And I want to talk to Jason O'Neal Sr. to see uh, how did this come about? Because he started back when he was young, then he stopped playing for a little bit, and now he's back playing, and he's about 4 years in. And we're going to talk to him right now, and we're going to see what's behind Jason O'Neal Jr. So we're going to pull up Jason O'Neal Sr. right now. What's up, man? Senior, what's
Hey,
going
how
on,
are
man?
you?
I'm
Doing well.
well.
How you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. So obviously, he was probably listening, to Junior. Man, yo, he's
Sharp kid. He's definitely a sharp kid.
yo, he's sharp. He's
Hmm.
sharp. He's sharp, man. He's sharp. You got a sharp knife on your hand, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. So this is the Meet the Parents segment, right? Where we talk to the parents, and I really love this, talking to the parents because these kids are great, and it's a reason why. And I want to I want to start
Okay.
with
Okay.
you introducing yourself to the world. And who are
Okay.
you? Tell me.
My name is Jason O'Neal Sr., happily married father of four, and I have a great son who is a progressing athlete, great students, his daughters as well. And just as a family, we are pretty tight knit. And like he said prior, we're pretty open, giving, and just enjoy, being a family.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, so my next question is: did you play?
I played up through JUCO, and believe it or not, I was one of the type of people that I hated the weight room. Probably if I'd have loved the weight room more as a youthful player, I would have gone a lot farther.
Hmm.
We have sports that runs in our background, and right now he's the person who's gonna we pass the baton to him, and now he's gonna run with it.
Right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, why quarterback?
That was his choice. That
Okay.
had nothing to do with me. I played tight end, so him being a quarterback was his own choice. Again, he was the type of kid that he was always very, very introspective. He was always very, very keen on his surroundings. He'd be on YouTube just watching, and one day he just came to me and said, "Dad," and he showed me some Patrick Mahomes.
Hmm.
And you could see the bug kind of bite him. This was second grade. He was 7 years old,
Yeah.
and my thought was, if this is what you want to do, I'll help you on the journey, and I'll do everything that I can to get you where you want to be. Even in the points where you don't necessarily want to do it, but you want it, I'm here to show you how to get there.
Right, right. I love that. I love that. Because without someone like you uh, putting him in these different positions,
Hmm.
he doesn't. I don't think these kids get as good as they are. Like he's very sharp. He's saying things, and I've been watching football my whole life. He's saying things that I have. I don't have any idea what he's talking about. So, some of those things, I'm like, he's like how the stance of the DB is and things like that. Very, very high level stuff, and he's very young.
Sure. Prior to me dealing with all of this quarterback stuff, neither did I. I mean, I played it, but
Hmm.
the understanding that a quarterback has to have, and until I became a quarterback dad, I didn't understand how much is put into that position. This is not a position, and I see it all the time where you just show up and think that's what you're going to do. No,
Right,
sir. There's a lot of work that goes into being a great quarterback. Anybody can be a serviceable quarterback, but if you're going to
right.
be great, there are certain rules that you have to be able to abide by and things you have to be willing to do to be great.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. One thing that I was really intrigued about is you guys saying he's a passing QB, right?
Sure.
That was in his there, right? It says,
Mhm.
I'm a passing QB. Tell me the significance of that.
Uh, because a lot of times people don't understand that, you have to be able to win from the pocket as well as outside of the pocket to be great.
Mhm.
Now, you can be serviceable, you can complete passes here and there, but
Mhm.
consistency with your accuracy is what makes a great quarterback. So for us, ever since he was a little kid, I would tease him. Every time he threw a football that wasn't on target, I would somehow make, because there's a lot of competitive juice and it become a competition. Don't get me killed. And your receiver's job is not to have to move a lick. You're supposed to hit him in stride, because that's the difference between him either being tackled or a touchdown.
Mm.
So for him, being accurate is something that he takes pride in, and something that we instill. That it's big. Myself, Charlie, his quarterback coach, same deal. It's about accuracy.
Yeah. So that's very, very important. That precision.
Mhm.
And it's like I said, like I'm learning from you guys as as I go. That accuracy, like you said, is the difference between a touchdown or things like that. And you guys practice that.
Correct. We've practiced every scenario, from warm ups to, I'll have two toes on the sideline like I'm making a sideline catch, and you got to hit me in target. That there's a certain way that you have to continuously rep in order to see the result. And the funny thing is, like any other science, whether it be fitness, the more you do something, especially if you have a little talent, the more you do it, the better you get at it, and you'll watch it show up. And I tell them all the time, do it now and watch it. It will show itself at some point and you won't even realize it. And it's second nature to him now. It's just who he is.
Right. So, but how did you know as a parent to put him in these different predicaments, to get him an extra quarterback coach, to go the extra mile, because it is like it's. So I went to the Super Bowl, the Pop Warner Super Bowl,
Hmm.
and I'm sure it's a lot of quarterbacks right out
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
But how did you know to put him on that path the way that because everybody's not doing that.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't. And
Okay.
a lot of this is trial and error. You don't know until you actually go through and you begin to see. And I'm big, we're both big. I glean, I watch. There's some people that are steps ahead of me that have kids who have already, they're either in eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade, and they've done. And so a lot of this community is when you find the right people,
Hmm.
they share information. And I thought, initially when I dropped him off in second grade and I handed him and they could see what I saw. Oh, this little 7-year-old kid can throw the football. We're
Hmm.
done. I just give him to you, and I just kind of sit back and let you. Well, that's not how that works. And
Right.
so that was the initial process of seeing. And like he told you prior, they
Mhm.
play smash mouth football. So one of the big things that you'll learn, this probably we can discuss at another time, is your goals for your child do not always align with the goals of the coach. And so the coach's job is to win. Your
Right.
job as a parent is to develop your child.
Right.
Those things do not always run congruent. And so that was the tough part in learning. Hey, if I want him to be elite, I got to go find someone who specializes in what it is I want him to do, because the coach that you play for, especially at a young age,
Hmm.
that's not necessarily his interest. It's to win.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really, really good point. I think we should talk about that more right now.
Sure.
Actually, because it's so true. So, what happens when you have a coach that has that winning thing, but their style does not match with where the style doesn't match with your child, but the
Mhm.
long term goals also don't match with where you guys are trying to go, right? Because yes, little league football, everybody wants to win, right? You guys don't
Sure.
want to lose, but it's more about practice and actually implementing what you're working on to put into the game.
Right.
Give other parents your take on what to do in that type of situation.
Be fluid and be willing to not necessarily be the most popular person, knowing that the main goal is your child's development. You
Right,
have to be comfortable leaving. You have to be comfortable going where it's sort of like hunger. I have to go where there's food. If
right,
there's no food here, I can't stay. I have to go somewhere where my child will be fed. And as
right.
long as and the idea is, the more you vet, and this is what I've learned, the more you vet these coaches prior to joining, the less of a situation where you don't know what's going to happen. The goals have to be it's never going to be perfect,
Right.
but the idea is they have to be as aligned as possible to minimize that damage, because there is damage. But the good part about it too is these kids learn now, just like in this era of NIL, they learn that football is completely fluid, and if you're not used to change, this is not the sport for you.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. And at what age do you think kids are starting to recognize that?
Earlier than I thought. They jockeying for position and looking, because what you're looking for is the best situation for your child.
Right.
And
Right.
so ideally that is you go to one place, you stay at that one place, your coach has the same vision, your visions are aligned, and everything works out.
Yeah.
It's just not really the norm. And so it starts, I'd say, in what they call a pound ball, elementary school, fifth grade, sixth grade. So this is where you start to look, because ideally you're looking for a place to develop long term.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so wherever that might be, that's where you have to go. And so we as a family, based on his ability, we try to remain fluid so that we're never pigeonholed into one place where we're stuck in one with one either particular coach until we find the one that we like. And once you do, you drop your anchor and you hang it.
Yeah, yeah, that's great stuff. So so you kind of touched on it, NIL and all those things. So we
Mhm.
just seen it. You guys know what's going on. You just seen Carson Beck. He said one of
Mhm.
Georgia's one of his colleges on his list. You just seen Carson Beck leave and go to Miami.
Miami. Mhm.
Reported $4 million deal, like
Mhm.
Miami, whatever. The collective maybe gave him $4 million to go there. The kid from Michigan, right?
Mhm.
Switched on LSU and goes to Michigan. You got the kid that just went to Duke.
Mhm.
Really, really big deal. What's your thoughts? Because you played JUCO, but maybe you could have played higher.
Absolutely.
But
Mhm.
what's your thoughts about going on? What's going on right now with these collectives and NIL, and how are you? What are you talking to Junior about this?
I believe, honestly, it's good and bad. You can see the good in that these kids are finally getting what they're worth, which is
Mhm,
a beautiful thing.
mhm.
I think, though, we've lost some of the what made college football great, which was watching Peyton Manning play 4 years at Tennessee, knowing, and when you think of Tennessee, you think of him. He's a volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
so it's a double-edged sword. I like kind of, and I'm using the Mannings as an example. I like the fact that Arch Manning is there.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, he is not leaving. He's going to be at Texas, and so you'll be able to attribute Texas to Arch Manning.
right.
But if that's not your route,
Hmm.
get what you can get, and just do the best that you can for your situation. But I do believe we've lost some loyalty, and I wish that there was more loyalty in college sports.
Yeah, yeah. I get that, and that's Eli at Ole Miss, right? You think of
Mhm,
when you think of
mhm,
Ole Miss, you think of Eli. When you
mhm.
think of some of those guys from the U, you think of Ray Lewis, you think of the
Ray
U.
Lewis,
Michael
sure,
Irvin, you think of the U, right?
sure.
Edgerrin, you think of the U. So yes, I agree. We have lost some of that, but I don't.
Charles Woodson in Michigan.
Right,
There are
Charles
guys
Wood,
we can go
yeah,
all the way through that.
absolutely.
You just when you say
Reggie
that school,
yeah, Reggie Bush, USC, right?
mhm,
Uh, you
sure.
know, um, but I think the universities kind of they kind of started whereas they didn't want to do the right thing in the beginning,
Sure,
and
sure,
now it's kind of coming to bite them in the behind
sure.
because of what's going on now, right? Um, it's a good and a bad thing. It is
I
because
just think there's little tweaks. If you can, it's not bad. We just tweak it. There's just too much freedom, and I think if you
right,
just
right,
tweak it to where even if you say you minimum 2 years in that school, okay, great. It still
right,
gives you the opportunity to move, but it creates some camaraderie. It's just it almost seems like mercenary football, and
yeah,
it makes it
yeah,
difficult at points. So the guys like Arch who stick, or guys who work their way through it. And we've lost the desire to work. And the only reason why we're leaving is because we haven't earned the spot,
right,
but we're not willing to do the work to get that number one spot. So to
yeah.
each his own.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And in football, it's a little bit different from basketball because I think like working with a team, like your
Mhm.
7-on-7s, coming there in the spring, the
Mhm.
quarterback and the receivers.
There's a lot to it.
It's a lot more to it than basketball. Hey, man, let's run, right?
Let's run.
And I
Mhm.
think in basketball you need that team camaraderie as well, but in football even more.
Not to the extent, correct.
Yeah, not to the extent,
Mhm.
but in football, it's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go into the portal. Then coaches, now you have to go, and also don't forget about the systems, right? So now you got Belichick at UNC.
Sure.
What system is he running in comparison to what
Hmm.
system the coach at Miami for with Cam Ward and they were running, right? Uh, so yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree with you. Uh, but what's your thoughts about what these guys are getting though?
I think it's amazing. I think they're getting what they're worth,
Yeah,
and I don't want to say centuries, but for years, universities have made a lot of money on the backs of players who've kept those stadiums full.
yeah,
So I'm not against them getting their fair share. I just think there's always in life there's a balance,
yeah,
and I think we were at a balance one way. Now we're out of balance the other way. So I think as soon as that pendulum comes back and we find balance between the two, it's going to be a beautiful thing because I do believe they deserve to get paid.
yeah.
I'm happy Carson Beck is going to get another 4 million. Then he can go pro, and he's going to be able to get a bag in both places. That's beautiful.
Right. It's
I
beautiful.
just wish he would have been able to get that bag in Georgia and been a Bulldog his whole career, right? So you
Right.
that way you could attribute Georgia to Beck as opposed to Georgia and now Miami.
Right. Right. All right. Let's get back to talking about Junior, man.
Sure.
How much has your experience being an athlete helped Junior on his journey? Do you think?
A lot. And the reason why I say a lot is just like in life, as a dad, there's a lot of opportunity to give advice that once you've walked the path that you can share with the person coming behind you. And that's my son. So I try to give him the pros and the cons of things that I learned
Right.
dealing with locker rooms, dealing with different people, dealing with injury, even how to dress and different little shortcuts and things to make him perform better, and things that I learned and pass that on to him. So
Yeah.
there's a lot that like in anything, any experience helps.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Um, I seen something on Instagram, and it said something like the caption was like it was like 3 months, and
Mhm.
it was something. Maybe he went to a quarterback camp, but it was a 3 month span, and the caption was it was very very special. Do you know what I'm referring to? What?
Not off the I would have to see the post to really be able to speak to it directly, but I'm trying to think what that would have been. If Probably if you could give me I don't know how this works, but if you could give me the actual where he was, I could tell you exactly what it was. Because
I,
I'm
I
pretty
don't.
much
Yeah, I don't know, but it was something where I think possibly he grew like exponential
over
in a
over
three
that
month
time. Sure,
in the 3 month
sure,
time span. I think
sure.
that was what it was referring to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Physically, he's grown. He's starting. He's beginning now to kind of hit his spurt. And
Hmm.
so, like I've explained to him, one of the tough things for him is at points because he's in between his growth spurt. The eyes always tell you one thing, right? So you see someone who's smaller in
Hmm.
statue, but um, the truth of the matter is he can play. And so there are archetypes for his type. You got Kyler Murray all the way up to Drew Brees and every size in between. And so I
Yeah.
always tell him, don't let any of that, just continue to play good football, continue
Yeah.
to let people see the gifts that God has given you.
Hmm.
And don't waste them. That's one of the big things. We don't let anything waste. So yes, he's grown exponentially, and over the year, it's crazy how you'll start on one thing, and this offseason the focus is speed. So
Yeah.
last offseason the focus was on his throwing, and my goal for my son is to be as good a passer as he is a runner.
Right.
And so this offseason is going to be we're working plyometrics and we're doing things to help his speed. And
Hmm.
so you'll watch in a short window of time, depending on what it is, how we'll give him something and he'll attempt it, and you'll watch he's like a sponge. He just grabs it and goes.
Right. 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 Um, and talk to me about your faith because I think that's a big thing that's in your family, believing in God, and how do you guys implement that into your family and explain how that actually helps your family in the things that you are trying to do as a family, get him to where he's trying to be, support him, your daughters, your wife,
Mhm.
you. uh I guess more the aspect of that is also giving back, and I think all of this is making him a good person as well. Just tell me a little bit about your faith and
Well, I think the faith is what keeps you grounded.
mhm,
And that's big, especially in the world of NIL and the world of glitz, glamour, promotion. You see, his page, he's constantly being promoted, but I always remind him that God comes first, and never forget the difference between person and persona.
right,
Your persona is what you see online, but the person you are is Jason O'Neill Jr. And that person needs to stay grounded and remember that, you're a human being just like anyone else, and you're no more special or different in that way than anyone else. You just happen to have a gift that God gave you.
right.
And you're using that gift to first of all, glorify his name, and second of all, glorify your family, yourself, and all the people who love you.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. I love that. Um, that's great. That's great. What's the path for QB?
Mm.
Um, like I was saying, like about like I seen these old videos of Lamar Jackson. What is that path? Because you guys are doing it. If just say I have a son and
Mhm.
my son is 5. What is the path to help my son get to be a top QB? You know, elite QB, because I think that's what you guys are. That's what you're going for. You want Jason to be an elite quarterback,
Sure,
passing,
sure.
passing number one.
Mhm.
How do you?
Well,
How do you
actually,
go
for
about
me, it's even. He
Okay,
says passing, but I want him to be just because it's hard to defend when you have legs. Look at Lamar. Lamar's come so far in his passing. He used to be more run dominant, but he's as deadly now with his arm as he is with his legs, and that makes you so difficult to
I
defend,
know he's
right?
he's he's good. He's very good.
So, absolutely. To answer your question, I would say honestly, you have to be objective. And
Mhm.
the reason why we press him and want to not waste anything is because he has elite talent.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily mean, but you can still be the best of who you are. But you have to be objective and say, do I have that? If I do, you can still work yourself into being as good as whatever gift God has given you. But if you have that elite talent and you waste it, there's where we have a problem. And so, yes, he has the ability. So as much as he's willing to work, is as elite as he's willing to be because God has blessed him with a ceiling that's very, very high.
Right. Absolutely. And I also see on your on his page, like you guys are like crafting his story. Why is that so important? Because it's not just highlights.
Mhm.
You have a array of different posts and different messages uh, about him, his story. Um, why is that important? Why is his story that important? Why are you doing this that the way that you are doing it?
I want him one day to be able to pull up a chair, open whatever by that time it may be a hologram or whatever it may be, and be able to look through his page and be able to start from when we began to hopefully taking it as far as God will allow him to take it. And so this is it's a video biography of him. And so that's the legacy that I want to leave to him, that he will never. I didn't have that in my day. My day, we had the video. It's different.
It's
And so
different.
he has the ability to have his whole career captioned, and at some point his children's children may be able to look at that. And so I wish I could see what my dad did and maybe what his dad did. And so that's my gift to my son.
Man, yeah, that's so important. That's so important. And, and a lot of people they're not even thinking on that level, right? I
Some
mean,
people don't even like it. Some
yeah,
people believe it's a little too much, but you don't understand the heart behind it. It's for him. It's for
yeah,
him, and just for people to get to know what a great kid he is. Yes, he's a great talent, but he's a great person. He's the type of kid to give you the shirt off his back. And I'm not saying that because he's my son. That's just who he is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's a big thing. That's a big thing. When is too early to start, to start doing these things and start building your athlete story for you? Is it a time where it is too early when the kid says, Jason, you guys said to start at second grade, right?
Mhm.
Would it be too early to start building personal brand and story at second grade? Me,
No.
okay, I'll let you know. Me, I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think any time is too early, especially if they say this is what I want to do, and you don't have to wake them up to go do it. They want to do it. What's
Sure.
your take on it?
I just think it's organic, and you'll know by your child. You gauge it by your child's interest. You
Yeah,
know, Jason's interest happened to be in second grade. If his interest was third, fourth, fifth grade, we'd pick it up there. If his interest was kindergarten, we'd go
yeah,
from there. It's really just about your child's interest, attention span, and the desire.
right. Uh, it was striking to me when he said, he had to set it. He wasn't doing well, right,
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
football,
Hmm.
and he said he's sat at the table and he had to think about is
Hmm.
this something that he that
Hmm.
he really wanted to do.
Sure. I
Uh,
remember.
you
I
remember?
remember.
T-
Sure. Absolutely.
Tell me about that time because I've never heard a kid say that.
Well, Jason's always been able to throw the football, but unfortunately, you learn not every coach, if something's not broken, they don't fix it. And he's always been a good runner. So he was kind of he was a glorified running back, really. They, quarterback draws, quarterback sweeps.
Mhm.
So he played 7-on-7 for the first time, which pulls everything out, and all it is how well do you throw the football? And he
Right,
hadn't had a lot of reps doing that.
right,
And so him going in, I'll never forget his first 7-on-7 game. He probably threw 5 interceptions the first game. Ball was going to everybody but who it was supposed to.
wow,
But he's so intelligent, his mind began to craft and see, and you watch him, and it doesn't take him long. And he began to figure it out. I'll never forget, it was probably 4 or 5 games in, and probably that after that first, second game, he was crying, and because no one wants to fail. But
right.
I believe failure is what builds greatness.
Hmm.
So his failure either ignited a passion in him to say, I've got to figure this out, or we're going to figure out if you're a quitter.
Right.
And he had to sit at that table and mutually kind of, we sat and I gave him the pros and the cons of both. And
Yeah.
he decided, okay, I'm going to continue to push. And I'm glad he did because the rest is kind of history.
Yeah. And did you sway him in any way, or did you say, look, um, this is your decision. What do you want to do?
Early on, I did sway him and I swayed him in a way to say, I will let you out, but I'm going to tell you what that would make you and how you'll be viewed and how you would feel about yourself if you quit.
Hmm.
Now that's your decision. And he didn't want to sit with that stigma on himself. And so
Right.
he decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to continue because I explained to him, son, you're talented. It's just these are all new reps.
Exactly.
Anytime someone starts something for the first time, no one is great. It takes some
Nobody.
time.
It takes time. It takes
Mhm.
time. It takes time. And as you've seen over the time, how better he's gotten by the reps, the
More than
work,
I thought. More
the
than
work,
I'll be honest with you,
the
more
work
than I
he
thought.
put in. So you
Mhm.
so right now you're watching and you're like, oh,
Well, even in just listening to you interview him, when he began
yeah,
to spurt out all the coverages,
yeah,
we really just had that QBIQ camp. It was 2 3 weeks ago, and I'm not saying he had no history with it,
yeah, yeah.
but he's a sponge, and he downloads that stuff. And so his IQ, his football IQ, that was one of the things a lot of coaches would say. They could actually sit and talk football, and I'll tell you why that was. It started with Madden. Madden taught him coverages. Madden taught him how to move people, motions, all the things that people don't realize that if your son is playing football and he's not playing Madden on some level, he's missing out on the level of education because there's a lot of good education there.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's a jewel right there. That's a jewel right there. So talk about outside of some of those him playing doing the 7-on-7 for uh not doing well because you just don't
Mhm.
have the reps in 7-on-7.
Mhm.
What are some of the
Mhm.
other challenges that your son has, and what are some of the challenges that you guys have as far as raising an athlete like Jason?
Physically, it would be just getting him to buy into the game is one part of it. The dirty work, the weight room, the film, all the other stuff is what is going to separate you from everyone else. They're not watching film like that. They're not working out like that. They're
Right.
not preparing for the season the way you are. And once you can see, when he began to see, because at first no kid wants to do the dirty work. But once he began to see the fruition of everything he was doing and how it was separating him, how he could run away from certain people and how he could make this throw because he had watched it, seen it,
Mhm.
then the bug bit him. And then it went onto autopilot. And so now I pop him here and there, I'll nudge him here and there just on little things. But for the most part, I promise you, when I walk in the door, he's watching something on football. It could be anything, any obscure. Every time I walk in the door, he's doing something football related. I promise you.
Right, right. Uh, this is another thing that I thought was interesting. You talk about like sports and entertainment.
Mhm.
Um, Tell me your take on sports and entertainment. It because, and I'm asking this because a lot of people they will say this. They will say, "Hey, my kid is just this good, and
Mhm.
it's all about him being good,
Mhm.
and everybody's good now, right?"
Sure, a lot of
But
great people.
it's a lot of great players. But whether it's the NBA, whether it's the NFL, whether it's MLB,
Mhm.
um, it's sports, but it's also entertainment.
Absolutely.
Tell me about what's your take on sports and entertainment, and how are you instilling that into Jason to tell him that it's not just the throws, it's not this, it's
Mhm.
also some entertainment value
The
in it.
entertainment value. Uh,
Yeah,
I one of the things that I realized early, we're from Los Angeles, so we're from the entertainment capital of the world.
right.
There was a part where, I've been around, seen, and been in the entertainment industry in multiple fronts,
Hmm.
and so that's what you see on his page. His page is entertaining first, right?
Right.
And so the idea is, and I don't understand, some people do it their way, and whatever way works for you. You may not have the ability, or it may not be your thing, but why I want to follow you and why I want to click on your page is it's how entertaining is it? Is it
That's
going to draw me in? And the blessing that Jason has is because he's such a great athlete, I can take what he does
hmm
and magnify it and present it to the world. That will make it even more entertaining to watch.
right.
And so I think that, for him, he understands. And at first he didn't, wow, why do you have to do this? And why do we have, I said, but you don't understand. You're going
Right.
to come from obscurity based on your talent and my ability to present it in a way that makes people want to watch you.
Right.
You're a great athlete. Let me present it in a way to where people continue to want to come back for more. And I promise you, in a short window of time, that's happened.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. We watch a lot of athletes on Instagram, and we don't, we really look at a lot of Instagram pages, and I'm like, yo, I want to talk to them. I want to
They
talk.
seem interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Rachel,
Mhm.
reach out to them. I want to talk to them.
Mhm.
Because that's a huge part of it. It has to be entertaining. Because how hard is it to make it in sports? How hard is it to play at that level? We talked a little bit about the portal.
Mhm.
I heard it's 7,000
Kids in the portal
players
city.
in the portal
Mhm.
right now, and
Mhm.
it's 134 schools, right?
Mhm.
But then I think it's over 1 million kids playing football in high school as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
How hard is it to make it?
It's extremely difficult, which is why our goal has never been to make it to the NFL. Our goal is to get him college educated. He has a gift to go there. I would say I'm wagering, but that's not what we're doing this so that he can become a doctor, lawyer, dentist, whatever it is his heart desires.
Mhm.
And then if God so chooses to bless him to continue to play at the highest level, great. But there are how many schools? One of those schools could use a quarterback, whether it be D1, D2, D3, NAI, whatever it is. But all those schools offer degrees, and so the main thing for him is to be able to take care and provide for himself in the best way possible, and using that gift to be able to facilitate that.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Uh, I love that. I love that. It's a time where that can happen for young athletes. It's no time like this ever in history where I believe just what you guys are doing. He's 13. His progression. It's no doubt in my mind that he will be one of those athletes, right? Um, that will get picked to go to a really
One of those schools. Mhm.
one of those schools and probably earn money, right?
Sure.
Um, he has the opportunity to set himself up through the 4 or 5 years, and whether he does, God bless him to play at the highest
Mhm.
level. But
Mhm.
after that, he can get he'll get his degree, he'll get maybe a
Mhm.
master's, he'll have money in the bank, and he'll be able to
Mhm.
go and do whatever he wants in life. And is that
Sure.
your ultimate goal for your son?
Absolutely. That's my ultimate goal, for him to be able to do what he would like to do, not what he has to do. And there are many of us that do what we have to do, But if you can somehow, every generation is supposed to be better. And
Yeah,
so my goal for my son is just to be better, and I will ensure that that happens.
I love it. Absolutely. All right. So look, anything that I did not ask you, that you want to share. It's two more questions. That one right there, and I have a follow-up question after that.
That you did not share. I'm gonna almost say what Jay said, which was you did a heck of a job prior to that. I can't really think of anything. We've pretty much covered everything. Just the reality is just be open to, again, I'm just going to reiterate this: be open to change, be open to fluidity with your situation, and be objective about your son or daughter's ability. Get multiple opinions,
Yeah.
right? Because your opinion can sometimes be jaded. It took a while for me to even believe that he was as good as he was, because I would have to hear it from different, and then I began to say, okay, well maybe, and watch the kids who are in the comps. They say, just like if you're selling a home, look at the
Mhm.
comps around, match what they're doing. There are kids that are doing some stuff, and you have to be objective about those kids too. I see
Mhm.
a lot of great kids at his
Yeah.
level, but I can tell you he's in that upper crust of those of his year.
Oh, so yeah. So my last question was going to be, can you give some value to other parents? But I think you just did. So I think you just did. But I'll ask you this:
Sure.
how good is Jason? You talk about the comps. You
Hmm.
guys are at the camps.
Hmm.
You guys are doing this at a very high level.
Right.
How good is Jason?
He's very good, and he can do things with a football that most kids can't do, will never be able to do, or can't do until they get much further into the process. And so my goal for him, I just want to keep him humble, and keep him, because a lot of times it's gotten easy to where you could become lax.
Okay.
But the idea is there's somebody there working who sees you and may have that same talent, who's coming up the pipeline, and they're coming for what you have. And so you must stay focused and continue to keep distance between you and anyone else.
Absolutely.
Sky's
Absolutely.
the limit for him, though.
What's up, guys? I'm in Brazil right now, and I'm searching for elite athletes for All Dream Sports.
All right, so this is definitely the court, but if you look, it is not in the best of neighborhoods.
What you see is no players out here, and this is a place that I probably should not be. I'm going around the world searching for elite athletes, and you just watched an elite athlete in Jason O'Neal Jr. You can join his private community on the All Dream Sports platform by subscribing to his Dreamers Vault, or you can give him a one-time donation or a monthly donation. Go join Jason's Dreamers Vault and watch his journey as he goes along to becoming probably one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen. The only way an athlete can get on the All Dream Sports platform is an invite by me or an invite by one of the athletes that's on the platform. All right, guys. So look, this is a game. I don't even have a name for this game, but I just thought it would be
Okay.
cool, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of like, do you know, or something like that. Now,
Gotcha.
um, it's a competition, so try to
Sure.
win. Who
Okay.
wants to go first? I'm going to ask questions about junior, and I'm going to ask questions about senior. The one who answers the most
You go first.
I
questions,
just went.
they win the game. So who's going first?
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
You going first, Junior?
Mhm.
Alright. Rock, paper, shit. No, you have to go rock,
Uh,
scissors, shoot. Oh, scissors, shoot. You go first.
all right.
Yeah, he got you on that
All right.
one. Okay,
He
senior.
did.
All right. All
All
right,
right.
senior. Okay. What song or what artist is Jason Jr. listening to pre-game?
I
That's
know
hard,
that's
cause
tough because it fluctuates, but here's what I'll say: the artist that he likes me to mostly put to his videos, or at least recently, was Drake. So we'll go with Drake.
yeah.
Okay. Junior, is he correct?
Mhm.
Okay, okay. All right. So one for senior. Now, I have a follow-up question. What song is he listening to?
Oh, He always wants to hear pound cake.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
pound cake.
Pound cake with Drake and Jay-Z.
Yeah, I like pound cake.
Okay. So you pumping pound cake before the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's legit. That's legit. All right. And what about what's Jason Jr.'s pregame snack? What's something that he wants to have before every game, a snack?
Here's the answer. Jason Jr. doesn't like to eat before the game.
Yeah, I don't.
He does. He has no appetite before the game. He eats like a horse after the game, but he
Okay.
doesn't eat before the game.
Is
His
that
nerves. He's so wound up. He doesn't eat.
Yeah,
okay?
I don't eat a lot.
So you
I'm forced to eat breakfast. Okay. I
okay?
really don't want to.
Okay, but no pregame snack or anything like that.
Nah, not really.
Nope.
Okay, that's 2 points for Senior, so he's correct, right?
Mhm.
Okay, what part of practice does Junior dislike the most?
Oh, conditioning.
Yeah.
That's easy. That's easy. That's easy.
Okay. All right. What's his number? Okay, I think you've heard him say this, but if he had to pick one school, Junior, think about this. Okay, one school that you can go to. What is that school that Junior picks?
Junior would say, Mom and Dad say Georgia Tech just because we're greedy. We just want to stay close.
Mhm.
But Junior would say Georgia. That's easy. That's easy.
Yeah.
Georgia. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Junior. He's doing a good job, man. He's doing a good job, man. Okay, all right, okay, all right. I think you might get stumped on this one, Junior.
Okay.
Think about this, but I don't know. You guys probably talk about this stuff. If Junior was assigned a deal with any company,
Yeah, that's one.
what company would it be?
I don't know if I'm gonna get this one.
Yeah.
Maybe that next trend or whatever, the wristband company or whatever it is. I don't know.
He said he's saying no. He's saying no. He's back there. He's shaking his head no.
I mean, I'll sign with Nike because Nike has its own thing, and then Nike Jordan.
Okay.
Okay. So
Well, you think there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think you got three, and I think you got one
three.
wrong. Okay. So you got three. All right. Your turn, Junior. Let's ask about Senior. All right.
Right.
I'm gonna start off with a kind of tough one. It's kind of tough, but I think you might know the answer. What was your dad's most proudest moment of you being a quarterback?
I think there's a 7-on-7 moment, and then there's a tackle football moment. I think for 7-on-7, I think it was when I was playing against Rare Air, and I finally got the groove and understanding of reading defenses and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time I ever felt like I got that.
Mm-hmm.
And then for tackle football, it's probably a highlight of some sort.
You got a lot of highlights.
Against
Tell
it's
pull one out.
He's right. There's one. There's a highlight I'm thinking of.
I'm trying to decipher if it's Marietta or South Cobb.
It's one of those two.
Yeah. Is it the Marietta one? All right.
So he had a 73-yard touchdown run that cut the game open against Marietta. It was a tight game. Ooh, it was tight, and then that run just.
Speak up a little bit so I can hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, I was just saying he had a run against Marietta that broke the game open, and it was a 73-yard touchdown run, and it was a tight game, and he broke that run, and it opened up the game. So that's it. That was my.
Okay.
That's it.
And then also tell me about that 7-on-7 moment that he talked about. I think he was right about that as well, right?
He was right about that as well. The 7-on-7 moment was when the game started to slow down. Before that, it was bullets coming from everywhere, and there was one game where he actually went as a surrogate and played for another team. They needed a quarterback, and they called us up and said, "Hey, can your son come play?"
Mm-hmm.
He went to play, and he absolutely cooked. And it was the first time I saw him look comfortable, confident. And as a dad, I said, okay, he's arrived. That's when I knew the beginning of the arrival had happened.
Right. That was the proudest moment. You got that right. So,
You got that right, both.
hey, Junior, I think I'm gonna give you 2 points on that one because
All right.
I think I'm gonna give you 2 points on that. Okay, we talked about your favorite artist. What's your dad's favorite artist, and then what's the favorite song? Like like when you guys are riding in the car, is Dad pumping Hova? Is he pumping Miles Davis? What's Dad listening to? Two.
He listens to like everything. So like there's I don't think there's one artist he doesn't listen to
Okay.
because like like he has this playlist of just his music from his era,
Hmm.
and it's every single like every song is a different artist. Like it's
All right. So, well,
I have no idea.
you got extra points to kind of play with. You got an extra point to play with. So give it a guess. Okay. So here we go. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Let's talk about 2000s music. Maybe
Right.
let's what you
Okay.
know. Let's talk about 2000s. 2000s music. Who is his favorite artist that you hear him listening to that he's told you about? Okay, just think about an
It's
artist who's
only
like,
about okay. What's that one dude's name?
Hmm.
It may not be a favorite, but like it's like the fabulous dude.
Fabulous?
I, I know.
That's his name. Though you talking about Fabulous?
Yeah, I remember you playing one.
I just talked about him being, like as far as lyrically, Fabulous was nice, right, during that period of time. My favorite artist probably was Jay-Z.
I was gonna say that though.
But,
That was
Fab
gonna
was
be my
nice
second
too.
guess. All right. Well, I
so
lost that one.
hey, Junior, let me give you a tip. When in doubt, right? Just say Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
just
that's what I
just,
was
just say
thinking.
Hova for us, right?
Mm,
The old Hope, though. I like the old Hope.
The old
The
for me.
2000, right? The
Yeah,
original
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Me too. Big Hov fan back then.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Uh, how long was your dad's football career?
played all the way up until JUCO. So, um, no, you started your freshman year of high school though. But that's when you first started playing football.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because I was
you got to
telling
take.
him, go ahead.
No. You're good. I'm thinking.
Yeah, my dad didn't let me play until my freshman year of high school. My mom had to sign the thing behind my dad's back to let me even play because my dad didn't want me playing football. So
Wow.
I didn't even start till a freshman in high school. If I would have started at his age, it would have gone a lot further.
So that was your first time playing tackle football
The
as a
first time I
in
put
high school?
pads on was as a freshman in high school.
Wow, get out of here.
Yep, yep, yep. And by the time I was a senior, I was an all-state tight end. So he has it in him. It
In
just,
LA.
yeah. I went to Pasadena High School.
You went to Pasadena.
Mhm.
All right, so how long
3 years at Blair, 1 year at Pasadena.
Wow, that's crazy. So how long is that career? Tell Did you count it out?
I'm gonna guess he got injured his junior or sophomore season.
No, JUCO. So yeah, my sophomore.
Yeah,
So
so
count
4 plus 6. Yeah, 6. That's 6.
All right, so is he correct?
it. He's absolutely correct.
Okay, so that's three. That's three. That's three. That's
I
three.
was about to guess like when you were in first grade, and then I remember you.
I just like flagged that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I want to go back to the proudest moments for your dad, right? Okay, so because we talk about on the field, we talked about on the field, but we also talked a lot about like off the field, right?
Right.
What was your dad's proudest moment of you that you can remember when you walked within your faith?
Probably when I got baptized, or um, I remember it was one of these church services, and I I finally was open to like getting a Bible and like reading that Bible, and I remember I broke down into tears because of that. I forgot like why that. Well, obviously because it was like, yeah, like that was the first church service where I was like actually moved by what they were saying,
Yeah,
and the first time I was actually open to like getting a Bible and reading it.
that's
So
what's up. Senior, is he correct?
That's correct. For the first one, I'll give my half a point for the other, but the baptism is definitely number one. To see him, and we did as a family, so that was definitely proud moment.
Yeah. All right. So, Junior, I think you are on the winning edge right now.
0.5.
Yeah. Yeah. Junior, you won. You won. You won.
oh, I won.
You won. So I have to give you the floor. Okay. Tell the world where they can find Jason O'Neal Jr.
Um, you can find me on Instagram and X and on YouTube.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything that you want to tell the world about yourself before we close out?
Um,
Any motivation that you want to give anybody? Anything. You got the floor. This is your world, man.
don't quit.
That's what's
That's
up.
it. Don't quit.
Love it. Love it. Short and sweet.
Yes,
Senior,
sir.
senior,
Yes, sir.
you tell me anything that you want to tell the world. We covered a lot, we did. Any last words? Where can anybody find you if you want to be found?
I'm on IG as well.
Uh,
What I would like to say is just make sure that no matter what your child does, good or bad, you always show love and let them know that they're still your child no matter what. And good or bad, I have your back. And when they feel that support, it ignites them to be able to do great things.
yeah, absolutely. Man, it was a freaking pleasure interviewing you
Likewise.
guys, man. Like
Likewise.
this has been, yeah. I've been waiting for this all, since we booked it. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to talk to you guys and learn about the things that you guys are doing, and I can't wait to continue to watch this, this journey as you guys go. Man, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys.
And we
Yes, sir.
appreciate you giving us the opportunity to tell our story.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, for sure. Hey,
Likewise.
you sharp, man. You pretty sharp,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to get to a game or something to see,
Yes, sir.
to see what you got going on. I got to see it in person, man. See, it's probably different from the internet.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. You're definitely invited. We'll make sure that happens.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching the All Dream Sports Podcast. We would love to hear your story and possibly have you on the podcast. The We All Have Dreams segment with the athletes and the Meet the Parents segment with the parents. And then also, Do You Know segment. Do you know your child athlete? And child athlete, do you know your parent? Let's find out. If you're interested, please send us an email, team@alldreamsports.com. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Peace.